Microphone, handheld 5.
Test 1, 2, number 6. Hey.
Gotta have good sound.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our beautiful theater.
Where do new ideas come from? People have asked themselves this question for centuries.
Is innovation about having great ideas? And yeah, that's definitely a part of it, but also you got to achieve scale, otherwise it's just air.
Steve's done over 1,600 television episodes, is this correct?
Right?
And you're on TikTok and you're on YouTube, right?
Impossible. It's just a big word thrown around by small people who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it.
And so how can you make change? How do we actually do some initiatives that are going to make a difference to the American people?
And you said you've got 1 million views on YouTube?
A couple more.
10 million?
More.
And I know you've heard this cliche a million times, but honestly, innovation is a team sport. And that can't just be lip service.
If you're following a career path that goes into corporations or companies, no role for more than 3 years.
1 billion views. Let's give him a round of applause for that.
3, 2, 1, speed, and the crowd below!
Hustling is the art of practicing capitalism with no capital. Let that one sink in.
To really walk through it with you in partnership.
I've worked on hypersonics, I've worked on space, I've worked on deep ocean.
I've been working on a range of different things, so actually building businesses, building markets in a range of different sectors.
So there was no question I was going to be an educator. It was just a question of how you put all those pieces together.
I joined the administration in 2009, and I'm like, where's the East Room? I didn't even know how to get there.
What I call myself is a literary performer, and that is one who finds, writes text to perform, deliver to an audience in the most effective way to get the best intended result.
I joined MasterCard 6 years ago, originally to run what was called MasterCard Labs, that tried to figure out where the world is going tomorrow.
You will never sit at your cubicle or sit at your desk in your office, wherever you are, and suddenly, bam, an idea comes to you. Creativity and ideation is a search. It's sometimes a very hard search. So just think of this idea about it's a journey to find those good ideas.
How often, when thinking about solving a challenge, do we go first to technology and think that can be our solution? Or we think that if only we had this widget or that app or that service. And yet, your success or your failure in everything that you do will rely upon you and the people around you.
You don't have a wonderful idea. You find a wonderful idea.
First off, what do you want to do in simple terms, with no jargon, such that a non-specialist can understand it? Number 2 is, how's it done today? The third is, what's new? What's your new insight? What's the new nugget, the technical nugget that makes us think that we can get past that barrier and actually go accomplish that goal? And then the fourth is, what difference will it make if you're successful? And these are very simple questions. They turn out to be very hard to answer.
All of our ideas, even our creative ideas, really come down to our experience, our environment, and what we're thinking about. And that's okay. We just need to understand that, because then we're going to look forward to how do we change this.
The first rule for innovation and perception is allow yourself to center what you're hearing on your own perspective. And then surround yourself with people who are not like you.
If you don't change what you do and who you talk to, you're not going to change your ideas.
The research shows that showing research doesn't work, because sometimes the science and the quantifications begin to push people back a little bit. So we want to bring people in. And one way to do that is to begin to think outside of the normal ways in which we think.
The biggest mistake I see in industry and everywhere else is people sit in their cubicle or their office and they say, I know what everybody needs. That's rarely the case. A lot of good ideas come on the front line. Being with the people, being with the users of your product to understand where their needs are, and just listen.
E-waste, electronic waste, has got more precious elements than what is actually available in the ground. We never thought of it that way. But that new insight led us to say, look, what are the ways in which we can recover materials that are already present in things like your iPhone, break that down using some kind of a contraption like a hardware that you can make. So what we are asking you in this class, through this innovation exercise, is to come up with a robotic platform, for example, that can knock down your electronics in such a way that you can have some value in it.
Opportunity is fleeting. And so when it's there, being able to see it and enjoy it and jump into it and make the most of it, because it closes.
Nobody else is going to build out your career. You own your career. Your career is your campaign.
Don't settle for this just feels okay, I guess I'll do this. You got to find your passion.
I found the answer to every career crisis I had on the inside. There were times where I did not believe in myself and other people believed in me more than I did. Mentorship is one of the most potent things you can pursue in your career. Reach out to somebody who's walked that path before and getting advice from them so that you don't have to learn the same lessons everybody has learned before.
I find that sometimes the most brilliant people really love to share. They have that desire. Why else would you want to work on something unless you see that it has a use or a purpose?
What I now know to be a universal truth is that life is about connections. Nobody makes it on their own.
What do we think of when we think of innovation? We think about tech companies, right? We think about inventors. We think about people who have somehow changed the world. And yet, fundamental to all of our lives is this idea of our civic fabric, our culture. And I decided that innovation and civic innovation was going to become my passion.
We believe that government and technology are the two best tools we have in this generation to really drive change at scale in this country. We can't say it's the greatest country in the world until we ensure there are equitable outcomes for everyone who lives here. Who will make it the greatest country in the world? You. My parents were farm workers. They would spend their summers and summer breaks in tents going up and down the West Coast, following the crop of the season. When I graduated from Stanford and later Harvard Business School, their full story was realized and mine was built upon it. Whoever helped you get here, however you got here, learn their story because it is and has become part of yours, and it's as exciting for you to relive it with them and to share with them, but it also strengthens who you are as you make your own career journey.
The difference between success and failure is how much you want it, the tenacity that you have, and the grit that you're able to show in finding your way through. Grit is the currency of success.
Impossible is not a declaration, it is a dare. So, dare to do the impossible, dare to innovate, dare to find new ways of entering into creativity, dare to challenge yourself, dare to challenge others. And I want to thank you for letting me be a part of that.
Sure. The next generation of founders, CEOs, CTOs, CIOs, CFOs, and every other discipline is in this room.
Be ready, be open, be honest, and go have fun.
Watch this. Ready? Hup. Bam. That was a pain. Bam. Oh. Come on, buddy. Hup. Bam! Bam! Nice! Bam!
Steve, you do know that this is a historic theater.